Is that one person just being incredibly friendly, or is there something more hiding behind their smile? The answer is often written in a secret language you just haven't learned to read yet. We've all been there, lying awake at night, replaying every conversation, every look, every little laugh. It's enough to drive you crazy, right? You're stuck wondering, do they like me, or am I just imagining things? Well, the good news is you can stop guessing. Human beings are terrible at hiding their true feelings. Their bodies often tell the truth, even when their mouths don't. In this video, we're going to become detectives of the heart. We'll decode the 11 biggest signs that someone is secretly crushing on you. And stick around, because the last sign is a biological giveaway that is almost impossible to fake. Sign number 1, the 2-second glance. Let's start with the eyes, because they almost never lie. We're not talking about a normal look. We're talking about something specific. You'll be in a group, maybe with friends or at work, and you'll look up and catch them staring at you. But here's the key. They don't just look away. They hold your gaze for about 2 seconds, maybe a tiny bit longer than is comfortable, and then they quickly look down or away, almost like they got caught doing something they shouldn't have. Why does this happen? That 2-second window is the sweet spot. Less than that is just a normal glance. More than that can feel aggressive or creepy. But that 2-second look is a sign of interest and curiosity. Their brain is basically saying, wow, I like what I see. But their social anxiety kicks in and says, abort mission, they saw you. If you see this happen more than once, it's not an accident. It's a sign that you're on their mind.
Sign number 2. They become your mirror. Have you ever been talking to someone and noticed they suddenly scratch their nose right after you do? Or they lean forward when you lean forward? This isn't them being a copycat. It's a powerful, unconscious sign called mirroring, or the chameleon effect. When we like someone and want them to like us back, we subconsciously start to copy their body language, their posture, and even their speech patterns. Think about it. If you're telling a story and you're using your hands a lot, look at their hands. Are they starting to make similar gestures? If you take a sip of your drink, do they reach for theirs a moment later? This is their brain's way of building a connection. It's a non-verbal way of saying, hey, I'm like you, we're on the same team. It's a very subtle thing, so you have to pay attention, but it's a huge clue that they're trying to get in sync with you. Sign number 3, the gravity effect. Does it ever seem like this person just appears? You go to get coffee and they happen to be in line. You're talking to a friend and they find a reason to join the conversation. They always seem to choose the seat closest to you in a meeting or a classroom. This isn't always a coincidence. It's called the proximity effect. We are naturally drawn to be physically closer to the people we're interested in. They want to be in your orbit. They might not even realize they're doing it so obviously. They'll invent any excuse to close the distance between you two. They might ask you a question they already know the answer to, or pretend to need help with something right next to where you are. If you notice a person consistently breaking the normal personal space bubble to be near you, it's because their crush is acting like a magnetic force, pulling them in your direction.
Sign number 4. They have a super-powered memory, but only for you. You mentioned one time, weeks ago, that you love a certain kind of candy, or that you have a weird fear of butterflies. It was a throwaway comment you barely remember making. Then, one day, they bring it up. Hey, I saw those weird gummy candies you like at the store. Or, did you see that butterfly? Don't worry, I'll protect you. It can feel a little shocking. How did they even remember that? The answer is simple. When we have a crush on someone, they become the most important person in the room. Our brain treats every piece of information about them like a precious gem. According to brain scans, when we're infatuated with someone, the parts of our brain associated with memory and attention go into overdrive. They're not just listening to you, they're studying you. They remember the little things because to them, those little things are actually big things. Sign number 5. They get a case of the fidgets. Watch their hands and their body when you're around. Is this person normally cool, calm, and collected, but when they talk to you, they suddenly can't stay still? They might start playing with their hair, adjusting their clothes over and over, tapping their fingers on the table, or wringing their hands. This is nervous energy, and you are the cause of it. Having a crush is exciting, but it's also stressful. They want to make a good impression, and they're terrified of saying or doing the wrong thing. That anxiety comes out in the form of these small, self-soothing gestures. It's their body's way of dealing with the adrenaline rush they get from being near you. So if you see them suddenly looking a bit awkward and fidgety, don't mistake it for disinterest. It's often the exact opposite. Okay, let's pause for a second. You might be seeing a few of these signs and getting excited, but here's the big problem, the challenge that trips up everyone. What if they're just a really nice person? What if they're just friendly and you're reading way too much into it? That's a fair question, and it's why you can't rely on just one sign. A crush is never just one clue. It's a pattern of behavior. It's a collection of clues that all point in the same direction. So let's keep going and collect more evidence.
Sign 6, the playful teasing. Think back to the playground in elementary school. How did kids often show they like someone? By chasing them, pulling their hair, or making fun of them. We never really outgrow that, we just get a little more sophisticated with it. Playful teasing is one of an adult's primary tools for flirting. If they give you a funny nickname, make a light joke about your obsession with cheesy pop music, or start a silly debate with you over whether a hot dog is a sandwich, they're not trying to be mean. They're trying to create a special, playful bond between the two of you. It's a low-risk way to get your attention and create inside jokes that only you two share. It's their way of saying, I see you, I'm comfortable with you, and I want to have fun with you. Pay attention to the smile that comes with the tease. That's where the truth is. Sign 7. They are your personal superhero. Your phone is about to die and you forgot your charger. Suddenly, they appear with one. You're struggling to carry a heavy box, and they rush over to help. You mention you're confused about a project, and they offer to stay late to explain it to you. When someone has a crush, they often develop a superhero complex. They're constantly looking for opportunities to help you and make your life easier. This is driven by a deep-seated desire to be seen as valuable and dependable in your eyes. They want to be your hero. They want you to think of them as someone you can count on. They aren't just being nice, they are actively trying to prove their worth to you. If someone is consistently going way out of their way to solve your problems, no matter how small, it's a huge sign that they care for you in a way that goes beyond simple friendship.
Sign number 8. Their thumbs do the talking. In the digital world, a crush can be even easier to spot. Are they always one of the very first people to like your new Instagram post? Do they watch every single one of your stories, sometimes just seconds after you post them? This is not a coincidence. You are on their must-see list. Think about it. We all mindlessly scroll through our feeds, but when we have a crush, we actively look for their content. We want to see what they're up to, who they're with, and what they're thinking. Liking your posts and watching your stories is the modern-day equivalent of walking past their house hoping to catch a glimpse of them. It's a low-pressure way for them to interact with you and stay connected to your life. They're silently saying, I'm paying attention to you. Sign number 9. Their friends are terrible actors. This one is a classic, and it's hilarious when you spot it. You walk up to their group of friends and the conversation suddenly stops. Or maybe they all look at you and then look at your crush with a little smirk. Sometimes one of the friends might even try to accidentally leave you two alone together. Their friends know. You can be almost 100% sure of that. When someone has a crush, they tell their friends. They talk about you, they analyze your interactions, and they ask for advice. So when you show up, you're not just a random person. You're the main character in a story they've been hearing for weeks. Their friends' weird behavior, their knowing glances, and their subtle attempts to push you two together are one of the most reliable secondhand signs you can get.
Sign number 10. They dig deeper than small talk.
A lot of our daily conversations are pretty shallow. How's the weather? How was your weekend? Busy day, huh? But someone with a crush isn't interested in the shallow stuff. They want to know the real you. They will ask you questions that go deeper. Instead of asking, "What do you do?" they'll ask, "What are you most passionate about?" Instead of, "What did you do this weekend?" they might ask, "What's the best adventure you've ever been on?" They are curious about your hopes, your dreams, your fears, and your story. They listen intently to your answers and ask follow-up questions. This is because they aren't just trying to pass the time, they are trying to figure out if you two are truly compatible. They are trying to see into your soul. Sign number 11, the uncontrollable giveaway. All right, we've come to the final sign. We've talked about body language, words, and friends, but all of those things can, to some extent, be controlled or misinterpreted. But what if I told you there's one signal their body sends that they have absolutely no conscious control over? It's a pure biological reaction. I'm talking about their pupils. Our pupils, the little black dots in the center of our eyes, don't just change size because of light. They also change size based on our emotions. A study published in the journal Scientific American confirmed that our pupils dilate, meaning they get bigger, when we look at something or someone we find attractive or interesting. It's part of our primal fight or flight system. When we see something we desire, our brain releases a rush of dopamine, which triggers the nerves in our eyes and causes the pupils to widen. This is a tricky one to spot, as you need to be fairly close and in consistent lighting. But if you're having a good conversation and you notice their pupils seem larger than they should be, it is one of the most honest, scientifically backed signs that they are deeply attracted to you. Their body is literally telling you, "I like what I see," and they can't do a single thing to stop it. So, there you have it. The secret language of crushes isn't so secret anymore. From the 2-second glance to the uncontrollable widening of their pupils, remember, it's rarely about finding just one of these signs. It's about spotting a pattern, a combination of 2, 3, 4, or more of these clues happening consistently. It's like collecting pieces of a puzzle. Once you have enough pieces, the full picture of their secret crush becomes impossible to ignore. If this video helped you solve your mystery, subscribe to RainWish for more. Goodbye.